All right, what's up, Blaze?
Not much. Just excited to get in here and talk about this week in wrestling because it was
Yeah,
a pretty crazy one.
this is your Wrestling for the Weekend podcast, August 19th, 2023. I'm Chris here with Brandon Blaze. And we'll get into some of the more craziness later. We're not going to be able to help some of it, but I would like to mostly stick to what actually happened on screen, not backstage or on highways. But before we get into all of that stuff with AEW, real quick, while it's fresh on our mind, I want to talk about Edge versus Sheamus last night in Toronto, which apparently could have been Edge's last match ever. Could have been his last WWE match. Could have been neither. Who knows? Edge apparently says he has no idea himself. He has to discuss it with family and whatnot. So we can start. What did you think of the match overall?
It was pretty good. Or Sheamus to say it was a banger.
Yeah.
There was a few times at the end that I thought it was it. I actually thought Sheamus might beat him right there at one point because usually you go out on your back usually. So I was like,
yeah. See, I was pretty sure Edge was gonna lose or win. I mean, not lose, and Sheamus was gonna lose. But there was that possibility. I'm like, Edge might be that guy where he's like, nah, I'm gonna put Sheamus over. Go down. But it's not like Sheamus needed it. So yeah. I'm glad he got the win. But the show actually went a little long because SmackDown always ends like a couple minutes early. I've heard that's because of like local news and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's always like the 9:58 or whatever, and it went like right to like 10 this time. So like I was biting on those earlier finishes more just because I'm like, shit, the show's got to end now. Like
the one time where I thought Sheamus had hit the bro kick right there, then I was like, that might be it.
Yeah, right at like 9:57. I was like, oh shit. And then Edge hit another spear after that, and that wasn't it. But then he hit the last one, and it was. But it was a good match. I thought Edge and Sheamus both they both had bad injuries. Obviously, Edge had to retire for one. Sheamus almost did. He was out for a while with his back thing. I forget what it was exactly. They were taking some crazy bumps. Like I said at one point, I was like, man, I don't want this to be Sheamus's retirement match too.
I remember that. I laughed. I was like, that was pretty shit. It could have been.
Man. Yeah, but it's like I think that may have been one of my favorite Edge matches since he came back too. And I mean, I've liked a lot of them.
Oh yeah,
but that was really good. It was the moment with the crowd, like made it even better too. Crowd was so hot.
Even though Sheamus the face, he was kind of playing the heel in the match because playing.
He got boozed too. Like they didn't want to boo him at first, but he got boozed during the match doing some stuff.
He's like hell, screw it. I'm just going. I won't be the heel for the night. At least during the match, because they didn't show some respect at the end.
Yeah, no turn, no attack or anything after, so it's still like completely open. Like I believe Edge. I believe he generally doesn't know yet what he's gonna do.
You got to figure it out.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd definitely say it's not like 100% confirmed he's leaving because otherwise I don't think like WWE would have been pushing it so hard. Like, is this his last match? Kind of thing. They would have let him do it, but
yeah.
And everyone can stop the All In rumors because his contract doesn't actually expire until September. Apparently, that was just the last match on his contract. However that works, but he can't just leave yet. So, yeah, like that's from Edge's mouth himself. So, I mean, you could say maybe he was working, but.
What about Ziggler's contract? When's it in?
No one cares enough to ask, honestly.
Yeah, I'm not the only one who cares, and I don't know how to ask him.
But yeah, I don't really have anything else to add about that match specifically. There weren't any other real like big developments on SmackDown either. I mean, Theory became number one contender again for the U.S. title, but I don't think we expect him to win. Yeah. Yeah, and they just revealed that Jimmy would return next week. There was only like one Paul Heyman. It's like this is like the lightest like bloodline SmackDown in a while.
Right? Yeah.
It gave so much time to Edge, so they probably knew they could afford to take a week off since they want to stretch it anyway.
But hell, maybe this time they couldn't get their special clearance anyway. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah, with that stuff. But we can go ahead and move on then. So for the rest of the show, I kind of just want to preview like the upcoming cards because there's so many big ones coming up. There's like various companies. The biggest one obviously is All In, which has over 80,000 tickets sold now. And most of the card is announced. It looks like 9 matches. They'll probably add like a couple more, maybe at least a couple more in the pre-show, if nothing else.
I was thinking the 0.
I mean, we've got pretty much the card. So we'll go through it match by match. I think we'll have to start with 2 in 1 though, because we can't talk about one match without the other.
Yeah.
Because MJF and Adam Cole are in 2 matches on the card. They are in the main event for MJF defending the world title against Adam Cole, and then they're challenging Aussie Open for the Ring of Honor tag titles in the 0 hour pre-show. So just overall, we can talk about the Cole MJF developments, and like, I mean, we've kind of talked about it already, but there's so many ways this could go. Like, me and Jeff talked about it last week. I don't even know like what they're gonna do.
Yeah. If they have the turn, or at least Cole turning, I kind of don't want to be till after the match though. Like if Cole loses, then he snaps.
Like I don't want Cole to win the title, honestly. Like I feel like that's weird. I'd rather see MJF and Punk do some unification than Cole being involved in that. But I do want Cole to be the one to turn too. So that's like my dilemma. He has to turn, but he has to do it and not look like a geek because he can't like turn, cheat, but then still lose. Like,
right?
Then he looks like a geek.
You know, the only thing I can see them doing, which I also don't want them to do though, is Cole wins and then MJF wins it back the next week it all out.
Yeah. See, I wouldn't want like a title reign or anything like that. Overall, I can see that would be okay. I would support if they're gonna do a 1 week title run. That would be one way. I would be like, okay, that's fine. But overall, yeah, that's not. I would rather just do MJF.
Yeah.
And we know the Kingdom and Roderick Strong, and they're going to be involved in some way. Is Cole going to side with them? That's the question. And Cole had that weird tease this week too, where he like really teased turning on MJF and didn't do it. I'm like, would they do that if he was actually going to? Because I was really on the nose.
Cole did say he won't any means necessary.
Yeah, I don't know. And they could just do a thing where MJF sides with like the Kingdom, and there gets Cole. Yeah, there's so many ways like it could go, and we don't even know like they could win the Ring of Honor title. Like I'm kind of thinking they don't.
Yeah,
but it's a very real possibility they do. Like I shouldn't rule it out at all.
Kind of don't want them to because I'm liking the Aussie Open run. But
yeah, me too. I'm actually a big fan of Aussie Open. Like honestly, like so we can do a little aside on them for a second. Like before Mark Davis got injured, and they kind of had to take a little bit off as a tag team, even though Kyle Fletcher was still doing good stuff. They were like easily no second place my tag team of the year so far for 2023. Yeah. And now they've came back. They've already won the Ring of Honor titles. They're putting on good matches all the time. I think they're tag team of the year. Like I think FTR would still be second, and we'll get into more with them later, obviously. But I don't think it's close. They're literally having the year FTR had last year, and they had an injury in between that just didn't even hurt. They just had to take a little bit off.
Yeah, it's close for me. It's close to because FTR's had a lot of great matches also, but yeah, I'll probably put.
I mean, the best tag team match of the year. The best tag team match of the year still goes to FTR to me for sure.
Yeah,
with the hour-long one basically. So I definitely get that would give us points. But overall, I think I would say like Aussie Open, and probably in like if I'm talking, I'm not, but if I was talking like in like kayfabe terms too, because they had the New Japan tag titles, actually one of the strong ones too, and they had to vacate them without losing. Then they come back instantly win the Ring of Honor titles. Like I know they're not the AEW titles, which would probably be higher, even the IWGP ones. Like I wouldn't rank them higher at all, but still, it's a crazy year. And now they're going to be at Wembley against the hottest act in AEW. It's pre-show, but still, like,
I mean, hey, you on the pre-show, yeah, your job is to get the crowd hyped up for the actual show. So hey,
I actually have a theory they may not add any more pre-show matches too. I think they might only to just fill a bunch of people into the card to get them booked, so they can say they were at Wembley. But I could actually see that with it being that match being a one-match pre-show. Like they've done it before, and they didn't for Forbidden Door. And I assume that's just because they wanted to get more of that New Japan talent on the show. So likewise, they could do it here to want to get more talent just on Wembley. So I'm not sure. I'll wait. They're not gonna announce it until like right before probably. So we'll see how that goes.
If they did, I wouldn't be surprised if they just won one. They just did like some battle royal, like, because that's the TK special. Everyone on the card. But then again,
he never does them on the pre-show. I feel like if they would be on the pre-show, I think it'd be better. I generally like the AEW battle royals. If it's like a casino one with like a return or something, yeah, I get that. But if it's just a basic one, like I'm a big fan of pre-show battle royals in general, but on the pre-show, like specifically, exactly. I think that's a fun way. Like you don't have to pay close attention. You get to see a lot of people, and you can have some fun spots thrown in there. It's like a great pre-show gimmick.
One thing I usually do in TW, like at the pay-per-view, I'm like, well, let's get y'all all on the card, battle royal.
Yeah, I do that. Just a dark match, not even televised. Yeah, I do that all the time. Like my lower card guys, or even anyone that just didn't have a place for that is a little angry. Exactly. I'll have them win. But yeah. Let's see. Let's move on to the other tag team match on the card for the AEW tag team titles. And as of right now, FTR is still defending against the Young Bucks, even with all the issues with Cash this weekend. From what it looks like to me, I don't think that's going to change. I'd be shocked at this point if anything happened and they took that match off.
Yeah, because I don't think he's here. As far as I know, he ain't lost his passport and the restrictions to travel yet.
Yeah, legally there's no restrictions, and I don't think there's even any consideration internally to just do it. Yeah. Because he's booked on Collision tonight for a segment, him and Dax. I believe they're even already booked on Dynamite with like a segment with MJF and Cole, which that could be like pre-taped at Collision tonight or something. Who knows? But it kind of read to me like it was live.
I don't know about that.
That's not possible. God, this company is. This can't last forever. Like it's like I'm not gonna just be like doom and gloom, like, oh, it's the end of the world until like something actually blows up.
Yeah.
But at this point, it's like a win to me, and I hope it's like at a better time than right before Wembley. Like, God, if something bad happens, like I hope it's at least after Wembley, like some big fight backstage or something again. But they're all. I mean, I don't know how they're going to do it. Like who's going to be booked or what. But this Wednesday, they're taping Collision. Like,
I was going to bring that up. Which I could be their
is that the Georgia one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know. Like, I don't think it's like unfixable still yet. It's just like it does not look like Tony's doing what he needs to fix it.
Damn it, Tony. Me and Tony that was yelling at MJF and Adam Cole in the segment.
Yeah, but so we will talk the actual tag team title match, which I'm pretty sure is going to happen. I think it's going to be awesome. Even with all these distractions, I guarantee you the crowd's going to troll Cash at first.
Oh,
I think that's unavoidable.
I mean,
but I feel like the match is going to be so good, like they'll stop like pretty quick. They're going to let them get out of their system at first. But I mean, it'll be an absolute match of the year contender, I think. Or it'll at least challenge that hour-long match for tag team match of the year.
The other two times. This is the third time they fought, right? I think.
Yes, yeah, this is the third. There was one not long after they came to AEW. I believe the Bucks won it. That was how the Bucks won the tag titles. Yeah. And then they had another one like a little bit later with it was. They defended the FTR defended the Ring of Honor tag titles against the Bucks, I believe it was last year. So this is the third one. So they're 1-1. But I think it's safe to say the Bucks are almost certainly winning this one.
Probably. I mean, I thought it'd be already, but now more so.
Yeah, see, I was really not thinking they would as much as other people because I heard a bunch of people say they felt they were. And I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I feel like that they're going to retain at this point. But yeah, now, like, I don't think there's a chance.
I'm gonna watch him actually retain still.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen way crazier stuff in wrestling, so I can't say I'd be that surprised. But and who knows? Because Wembley's a week away now, week and a day. More stuff and Cash's legal situation, could come out, and who knows? It could get better or worse. Like,
True.
I mean, probably not. I feel like we're probably gonna have all we mostly have for a little while, just because the legal system moves kind of slow. Like.
Yeah, it does.
So, yeah, who knows with that? That's great. So before we move on to the next match, I mean, we'll just touch on like such a crazy off-screen drama week for AEW. Like, yeah, people being sent home from Collision. It's so funny to me that a lot of it actually happened weeks ago, and it's just now coming out, and everyone's acting like they were sitting on it. And I'm sure they were. I'm not saying they're lying. And, they were told it like off the record and, not to say anything because people didn't want it, getting out, like the company looking bad. And then, whatever happened, it seems like Punk's off-screen promo, like after Collision, just triggered everything to come out. Like you hear about the story from a month ago with Jack Perry in the glass. It wasn't even bad. Like that had no negative on Punk at all. But it was originally released like the original before you got clarification, it seemed like Punk was overstepping boundaries and blah blah blah, and then you got more details and you're like, pretty much everyone was on Punk's side. Like,
it was like,
and all these other things, like the Ryan Nemeth thing from weeks ago, and then apparently there's another one. Like, yeah, it's weird, and it's so funny that one little promo just seemed to set it off everything.
Right.
And the funny part is Hangman hasn't done shit. Like, you could go back to the very beginning, argue that he kind of started it, because apparently that one promo on like Dynamite or whatever with Punk is the whole thing that set off his big hatred of the Elite. But since that one promo, which I still don't think was a big deal, it just happened to start on this, Hangman has not done anything.
Right.
He's the only one. The rest of the Elite can't help himself. Like, they make references on BTE. They did the Punk trolling when they were in Chicago. Like, Hangman hadn't done shit.
Didn't they just on BT do some kind of like apology thing? All we want is an apology.
Yeah, it's so funny because that kind of stuff, it's like, yeah, I think it was clearly a shot at Punk. It's very obvious. But they have like plausible deniability that it was just a bit and it had nothing to do with Punk. And if Punk like tries to say anything like, "Oh, this is about me," and they're like, they can just probe him and be like, "Well, what about it made you think it was about you? You think you need to apologize?"
Exactly. So he's like,
it's so petty. Like, I think that's why they're not getting as much flack too, though, compared to Punk, is because they are like, I guess I'd say more discreet with it. They leave room for that deniability, even though like anyone with a brain is gonna know they're just playing dumb. If they try to do that, but they can play dumb. Where Punk stuff is way more direct. Like, he's not sugarcoating it. He's not, like he does both. He does actually do both. He just does the more direct shots too. But so back to the actual on-screen product, though. We'll talk about the women's match next because I think that's an interesting one that I think will be fun, and I think that the crowd will be very into it too. Because it's a four-way with Hikaru Shida defending against Toni Storm, Saraya, and Dr. Britt Baker. So I think the four really hot acts. I would say three of the hottest acts, and then not going to discount Saraya too much because I think putting her in the match when they're in England's a good move. I actually don't know if the crowd's going to. I don't know if they're going to cheer for her too much. I wonder, like, they might at first, but then I think if she starts doing her heel stuff, I think they'll start booing really quick.
Maybe we'll see. Sometimes
she does it. Who knows? But
sometimes you get away with heel stuff.
Like, I see a bunch of British people on Twitter, like wrestling fans, and there's like, bro, we don't like Saraya like that. Like, So I'm like, I don't, and that could just be a minority, and there's 80 fucking thousand people, so who cares about these random Twitter people's opinions? But
and
yeah,
not
who
always going to
knows?
be from there either. So I mean,
Yeah,
Jeff is
I
from
actually
Canada.
think
He's going.
this is more predictable than most people are giving it, because I just think Sheeta's going to retain. I'd be really shocked if she lost so soon. It being a 4-way makes it a little more open, but I don't think Soraya's winning. I don't think Tony's winning with this character she just started. It would be weird. I mean, I'd never complain about it, but with this new character, like, I don't think she's winning, and I don't think a lot of people would like Britt winning. I don't even know how I would feel about it, honestly. It would almost seem too random for me, because they kind of like just started like showcasing her on TV again after she had like a little bit off. So it would feel very like hot shotty, which I guess they kind of did that with Sheeta. But
yeah, Britt will be my least likely choice for me. So
yeah,
just
it's funny.
just right above, like that close above.
Well, do you mean like which one you want, or which one you would like predict is more likely?
The one I don't want to win.
Oh, okay, yeah. See, I would definitely prefer her over Soraya.
I mean, yeah, I can understand that. Like I said, it's so close for me where
I did like too when they first advertised this little like tournament that wasn't a tournament. They had that video package, and they made it seem like a tradition of having the 4-way women's matches when they were like anything but in the past. Like especially the last one where like Tony first won the title. We know that was thrown together because of Thunder Rosa's injury, but I thought it was a genius way to work it into like a tradition to make this not seem like just women thrown in together. I'm glad they went the 4-way though. I think it's better than just the singles match with the options they had, and this way you can showcase all 4 of them instead of just leaving some out.
And then you can start the riff with the Outcast, because those two are going to have to wind up fighting at some point, even though now.
Because I've been predicting it for a while that they were going to do something like this. Like I think for like 2 pay-per-views now. They have not had any kind of like multi-woman match where 2 Outcast members were both in it. So like they were technically against each other. Have they? They haven't. I don't think they've done that.
No, I don't think
it's only been tags and stuff. Yeah.
So like it's their whole thing they were doing. Oh, if one of us is champion, all of us is champion thing.
Yeah. What was
that's going to go out the window?
Because I think they did something at Revolution. Wasn't that like it was Jamie? It was a 3-way, but it was like Jamie. I think Britt was in it, and then it was like Tony or Ruby or something. But it was only one Outcast. I'm pretty sure. I think Britt was the other one. I don't remember, but
yeah, that's not going to hold up when you got 2 of them in the match.
Yeah, it's interesting. So next match I want to talk about. It's gonna be interesting one too. It is. It was made this week with a very ridiculous segment. Will Ospreay is against Chris Jericho, which was apparently a Tokyo Dome match for Wrestle Kingdom that they had been in talks about, and just fell through. I never knew that though, so that's kind of cool.
What 2021? I think he said.
Yeah, I think that's what he said. Yeah, which was the first year was affected by COVID.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the match is gonna be interesting. Yeah, well, Will Ospreay is gonna be like super mega babyface because it's England. But it's funny because he's like clearly the heel on AEW television. Right. He's also a babyface in Japan, so.
Some of the old territory days where you're a heel one place in the face.
Yeah. So it's gonna be interesting how they work it like that, and if Don like gets involved, because I don't think you want him getting super involved when Ospreay's gonna basically be the babyface, even though they are aligned. But who knows how they'll do it? Maybe Ospreay like does a little like AEW babyface turn at the end where he actually like stops Don from doing something to Jericho after the match. I don't know. Like they could work that.
I'm interested to see how they play it out though. The match. I mean, it should be all right. I think Ospreay can get a good match out of Jericho. Jericho's not what you would say bad, but he's not great like he used to be. But the right people.
Yeah, but honestly, I think Ospreay's like the best wrestler in the world right now.
That's what I'm saying. He can get a good match out of Jericho.
He's gonna get a good match. Like I don't think it's not possible. Yeah, like I mean, even I don't think you watched it, but that match he had against Naito in the semifinals of the G1 last week. That was last Saturday.
But,
I mean, Naito got knocked out at the end of the match. Ospreay kicked him right in the forehead, Naito ducked, and Ospreay, I don't know, it was just a miscommunication. Ospreay ended up literally kicking him right in the forehead and knocked him out. Just fell face first, smacked him out. And Ospreay, when I say carried, I don't mean the wrestling term. He literally picked this man up and carried him through the finish of the match. Positioned Naito to hit his finisher so he could win and everything. It was crazy.
Jesus.
And so if he can do that, he can carry something out of Jericho. So I'm really not worried about the match at all. Just for that reason. I think Ospreay's gonna get everything out of it that he can. And there's also possibilities of, do we find out more about the Don Callis family, Because right now we only know of Takeshita. We don't even know if Ospreay's officially in it. They're just in kind of a line, but
true.
It's two people now he's sick Ospreay on. So.
And he's kind of loosely associated with Bullet Club Gold. We'll get to
I was about to bring that up too. As of Wednesday, he now has some form of alliance with Bullet Club Gold, so that's interesting. We'll see if that stays, or if it's just going to be like a Blackpool Combat Club thing, where enemy of my enemy kind of stuff.
He basically just hired guns, as you can say.
But, we can move on and talk about that now, though, because there was a 6-man tag team booked also on Wednesday, where it's the Golden Elite of Kenny Omega teaming with his two best pals of Kota Ibushi and Hangman Adam Page, and they're against Takeshita and Bullet Club Gold. That's Juice Robinson and Jay White, not the Guns. And so that's this is a regular old 6-man, no stipulation or anything, but that's interesting. Because obviously Don Callis will be at ringside for that one.
Oh yeah.
So that could be all we see of Don Callis. Maybe he won't get involved in that Jericho match yet. I don't know. It's weird because Don Callis has his hands in a lot of stuff now.
Kind of like it. It reminds me of the old manager days where you have a lot of people and they're not all aligned with each other, but you got all your different people you manage or something.
Yeah, the whole Bobby Heenan and stuff like that. With the Heenan family.
See, family. That's the same type of concept.
Yeah.
That should be a pretty good match, I think.
Mm-hmm. And
we'll see.
We can go up. What's up?
Oh no, I was saying we'll see how that one goes. I think it'll be a good one to have, especially.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, I don't think any match on this card has a chance of even being bad unless they just do something really stupid.
Yeah.
So next we'll talk about another multi-man they have, which apparently is now a stadium stampede in Wembley Stadium. And this is going to be I have no idea how they're going to book this match. There's so many people in it. So it is a team of, ready for this, Eddie Kingston, Orange Cassidy, Chuck Taylor, Trent Beretta, Penta El Cerro Miedo, and Rey Fenix. So basically the best friends, the Lucha Bros, and Eddie Kingston, and Orange Cassidy, if you don't, he's in the best friend.
Yeah, he's a best friend.
The 3 members of the Blackpool Combat Club, Moxley, Claudio, and Wheeler Yuta, and 3 unknown partners so far. God knows who they're going to pick.
And I don't even have a guess at who it is going.
I think Shota Umino is a pretty good guess. I'm pretty sure he's going to be there for the Rev Pro show the night before. So I think that's a really good guess because he's basically a member too. He just works New Japan. But other than that, I don't know. There's people thinking oh, what if Brian's actually going to be okay? And I'd rather him not risk it, honestly. But it is Wembley. It's going to be the biggest crowd he'd ever be in front of. So I don't know.
Yeah,
don't risk it. Thrown out is Zack Sabre Jr. He is in town as well too. So yeah,
I could like that. He's already had his little running with Orange Cassidy, so there's a little bit of history there.
Yeah, that's a good point. I actually forgot about that. And real quick too, before we talk about that, do you have any expectations for what this actually means that they're calling it Stadium Stampede? Because it's not going to be cinematic. I mean,
of course not.
Like, what the fuck are they gonna do?
Right?
Like it's not an empty stadium. Like the other ones were empty stadiums. It's just, I mean, I feel like most people are thinking it's just gonna be like a anarchy in the arena type thing.
I was thinking about. I'm trying. Wait, I thought it was the second one, or the one of them. I thought one of them was like they were fighting back, so then they came into where the crowd was at.
That was the second one. They had a live crowd there, but they were in Daly's place. The stadium was still empty. They just flopped back to Daly's place. Like this is a full stadium, you know.
True.
Like so, yeah. I think probably most likely it's gonna be like an anarchy in the arena kind of thing. They just want to use the stadium name because they're in a stadium, which makes sense. But yeah, a lot of people were like, I feel like they were purposely acting ignorant, like just acting like because they said Stadium Stampede, they were like, oh, they're gonna do a cinematic match at Wembley. That's so stupid. They're gonna film it the night before. I'm like, why would you think that? Like they've done two, yes. During a worldwide pandemic, they're now doing one in front of 80,000 people. Why would you expect it to be the exact same thing? Like,
true.
Like, I don't think people are that dumb. Like, they have to just be doing a bit.
It's going. I definitely don't think it starts in the ring though. It's one of those matches I don't think it starts in the. It's going to start somewhere in the stadium.
God knows. Yeah. Who knows? Like it's. Yeah, this card's crazy. They really stacked it on Dynamite. But one thing, so I want to talk about real quick is a match that is pretty much confirmed, but has not been officially confirmed. I think it's the only one. I don't think there's any others that have been crazy hinted to. That's CM Punk versus Samoa Joe. Like, surely that gets confirmed tonight, right?
I would think so because Joe choked him out last week.
Yeah. Punk has to. Punk's got to respond to that, right? Like, hold on, give me.
I would hope so. Punk just comes out there and doesn't even talk about it. It's like he.
Yeah, I'm about to look up what was announced for Collision because they had a whole card rundown. And I posted it earlier. What is it? I know I saw that thread a second ago. There it is. Let's see. Yeah, CM Punk's not even advertised, bro.
Damn. What the?
Ricky Starks is, but we don't even know how involved he is with Punk like right away right now. They may move on from that, like put it on the burner for later and then rekindle it. Yeah. So I'm going to double check this to make sure this is actually the entire lineup. But yeah, it looks like it is. I mean, it's a lot of stuff, but definitely it's not. It can't be everything. Something's going to build to like a main event, or Darby and Christian might be the main event too. But but one of these segments, I guarantee, is going to build to some tag team main event because they've been kind of doing that formula. It just has to. But so we got Darby Allin versus Christian Cage, Willow Nightingale versus Diamante, Jay White versus Dalton Castle. Ricky Starks discusses his comments from last week. FTR appearance, which I'm sure is going to get the most buzz. Hobbs is in action. I didn't start him in fantasy. I don't think. Fuck. Oh well, I'm gonna lose. Gonna lose this week. Oh well, it was a good run. And then we'll hear from Miro. So we'll see how that works.
I'm not even focused on fantasy the last few weeks. I got bummed out. I didn't even come close to making the playoffs this time.
I was first, but I'm losing first round. It's just like last season. I was fourth. I barely made the playoffs, and then I won. And now I'm first, but I'm going to lose in the first round. But yeah, so no Punk advertised for Collision as of yet, that's odd. But I'm still expecting the match to be announced tonight. Punk versus no Joe advertised for that matter either. I should say.
Yeah, someone's got to have
very interesting.
Maybe a pre-taped segment or something. They just ain't announced yet.
Yeah, just double check their Twitter and still that's all that's announced. They even tweeted their whole mashup graphic of everything. So yeah, very odd. But yeah, so that match will happen. I'm sure it's just good. Punk's gonna win. I don't think it'll be a huge storyline development. It'll just be a hot match on the card, you know, for both guys and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. Like I'm expecting it to be good. I think it's gonna be better just because of the crowd. I don't know. I can't say I expect a lot from it, like just in ring wise, because I don't think they'll need to. The crowd's gonna be insane.
Like all their matches, whether 1, 1, and 2, I think.
Yeah, basically. It's
They had
those
the
2
2
draws and
times,
stuff in Ring of Honor, yeah. And then
and
Joe
Joe
won
won
the
like the 3rd one.
yeah.
And there one. Unless I
Yeah,
think there was
Punk
one other
finally
match and
won
no
one.
one counts though. Though that's some other like
Oh yeah, I
individual.
think it was PW. No, I wouldn't PWG. Man, I don't know. It was some not Ring of Honor, basically.
Yeah,
No,
no one
someone
counts
else.
it.
Yeah, maybe like IWA or something.
I think it was IWA. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I remember I looked up before after we got done watching the trilogy thing on there.
Mhm. Yeah, but okay. So back to All In though, because I don't think there's any other unannounced matches that we're like sure are gonna happen like that one. There's one more match that is officially confirmed. It's gonna be absolutely insane. This is Darby Allin and what is apparently Joker Sting taking on AR Fox and Swerve Strickland in a tag team coffin match.
Oh, that's no, they've had a tag team yet, have they? Before.
Not in AEW, I don't think. I'm sure it's happened before somewhere, but I can't even think of one off the top of my head anywhere.
Yeah, probably, but yeah, it's not one of them that I can think of. I'm guessing you got to
someone's
put
gonna be
both of
crashing.
them in it.
Darby's just gonna be crashing through that coffin,
Of
going all
course.
through that wood. Splinters going everywhere. It makes me so nervous when he does this. I don't know what Sting's gonna do. Yeah,
Sting's crazy.
yeah, that's gonna be intense. And it's funny because that's probably one of the lesser matches on the card, at least as of right now. And that's insane. And I don't know if they're gonna add any more main card matches because I think a lot of the other stuff that's kind of being built, but they're not like going super hard on, will probably just be for like All Out. And those two multi-man matches, the Stadium Stampede and the 6-man, will probably also lead to more all-out matches. That's kind of a good formula when you do shows back-to-back like that like Japan does, is you have main event matches night one, singles, and undercard tags with other top stars, which will then be your singles matches on the next one, like a week later. So we'll see how they go with that. And they'll probably still add some pre-show matches. Like if Zack Sabre, for instance, isn't on in like a mystery partner, I would be shocked if he doesn't at least get a pre-show match on the card. I'd actually be kind of mad. Like I want him to be in Wembley. That's awesome.
I mean, you mentioned that's a good way to set up. Like he could be the mystery guy, and that's a good way to set up him versus Orange Cassidy at All Out the week after. So,
and they still want Danielson versus Zack Sabre too. So him even being their partner would not hurt that. Because Blackpool Combat Club love to fight each other, and he wouldn't be an official member anyway. But
exactly.
It would, as like an angle, kind of thing. So that would be cool if they end up doing that. Like, because I still definitely want to see that one day. Let's see. But speaking of All Out, there is only one match confirmed so far, and that is Darby Allin versus, or I think technically it's Darby Allin versus whoever the TNT champion is, which right now is not Christian Cage, who's fighting, but
don't let him watch this.
Yeah, so Christian Cage. I'm reading Wikipedia. Sorry, but Wikipedia says Luchasaurus, and it's got the C by his name. So
yeah, blame them.
yeah, not my personal thoughts, but that's interesting. I mean, I can't see like Darby just straight up losing to Luchasaurus, but I mean, maybe I don't know. I don't know if he just win the TNT title. It's really weird. This Christian angle is really good, so I don't know if they'd want to end it this early.
No, exactly.
But yeah, I kind of wonder where the legs are. I mean, the classic one is Luchasaurus turns on him in the tag team for the big pop to be his own person. But I'm so over that. Like, Kane's done that like 80 times in his career. Like Big Show's done it a lot when he was playing a big dumb giant heel. And yeah, like I don't know if I even really have a big desire to see that. I at least like the heel act to go on for a while longer before. Like definitely not soon, So with that, I've kind of talked myself into Luchasaurus needs to retain.
Yeah.
Darby didn't need another run. Like,
Not right now anyway. Maybe later. Was
Yeah,
that kind of gets thrown
so
around too much
that's
anyway?
basically the next two AEW pay-per-views there. We have a lot for one, not a lot for the other. We'll see how that ends up going for them with the two pay-per-views back to back. I mean, I'm personally excited. I think it's gonna be good. I feel like once it's all over in hindsight, they'll be like, yeah, let's never fucking do that again, But I don't think I'm gonna necessarily dislike it. So we'll see how that goes. Do you have anything else like AEW related at all that you want to add before we wrap up, move on to some WWE stuff?
Nope. I had to think for a second.
Yeah, I mean, I think we covered most of it with All In build because that was a lot of what was. Oh wait, no, we got to talk about that fucking chainsaw massacre. I mean, well, let's lead. Apparently, they got paid over $100,000. Like, I think
For
the
a good
official
cause.
report was that it was six figures. A lot of people are saying like exactly 100K. I don't think that's actually true. I think it's just it's somewhere over that. It's six figures. Could be, could be a little bit higher. And every bit of that went to the Hawaii, the Maui food bank, the wildfires. They had every bit of the sponsorship, and I mean, including all the rest of the show sponsors too, like they usually do for Fight for the Fallen. But doing the sponsor and that was new. So every bit of this match was good in that regard.
Yeah.
But what the fuck was this?
I don't know. Like I tweeted, that's the most TNA thing I've ever seen him do.
Yeah, like I think I said something like, imagine if TNA actually got sponsors like this when they were in their prime, what they would have done. Because, oh my god, I mean, like I said too, like the first half, like before they went to that first commercial break, there was nothing redeemable about it. You couldn't see shit. I have no idea why Jeff Hardy just randomly went backstage after his entrance. The announcers had no idea either, so that didn't help. There was this random wall of weapons, like it was clearly not explained to anyone. But once they got to the ring and they started doing stuff, I'm not gonna act like I wasn't entertained. The Leatherface thing was so hilarious. Like it was, I don't know. I still can't believe I didn't just imagine that it happened though. Like what the fuck?
I woke up thinking this was one of them favorite dreams. Like it didn't actually happen.
And it's on the same show with like that Tony Khan vignette with him, MJF, and Adam Cole in the office. At that point, I was like, bro, I'm either too high or not high enough for this stuff. I
And sometimes it's just like, yeah. Speaking of the other thing, the kangaroo kick.
Oh my god, he's gonna do that stupid shit the match too. He's probably gonna try it and not work, and then he gets kicked in the face or something too.
I'm ready for it to see how it goes.
Yeah,
can't believe the crowd chanted for that though. The crowds will chant for anything.
They'll chant
these
for
days.
anything, especially if MJF says it. But so you get the upcoming AEW schedule essentially. You got all in next weekend, which that's early by the way. It's like I think pre-show starts at 11 Eastern time a.m. and because of the time difference, and then you have All Out the very next weekend. But also, I don't think a lot of people realize this because they haven't built it a lot yet themselves. WWE has Payback the night before All Out on a Saturday.
Damn.
Yeah.
Crazy.
The only match so far, though, is just so we won't spend a lot of time on it, but it's Trish versus Becky Lynch in a steel cage match. That's the only Payback match now so far. I'm not even. I mean, I think Shinsuke versus Seth might be one. Maybe Gunther versus Chad Gable if that's not already. Nope, never mind. That's on Raw. Yeah. So I'm not sure what else they'll go with there, but
I wish that match was after he broke the record because I would want Gable to win, but not yet.
Yeah, actually, that'd be so awesome. But I definitely at this point I don't know. I have mixed feelings about that record breaking. Because it was always such a funny stat to me that Honky Tonk Man has that fucking record of all people. It's gonna be sad.
He looked into it. You heard the story how he just looked into it.
Yeah, right? yeah. It was not meant to at all. And it's gonna be sad when that's no longer a thing. But it's always cool to like actually witness the history yourself too. At the same time, I'd probably be 100% against it if I was actually alive during Honky Tonk Man's reign. Though I'd be like, no, that has to stay forever. But Yeah, that's payback though. I'm pretty excited about the Trish Becky match myself. It being on pay-per-view gives me a little bit more faith. It's not gonna have like too much in the way of like fuckery. There's no way will still
Yeah,
get involved like in some way. That's fine. I think they'll work a good match. Better than the Raw match they had for sure. So, and that'll probably be the
true.
actual end of that feud, which has been going on for a long time. Like I don't mean that negatively. It's been a good feud.
It's
Um,
been a minute.
Different
Yeah,
than what I was expecting from the start. Like they basically at the start of the feud before Trish, that was they were building to it there kind of.
yeah.
But like they've really been feuding since Trish's turn. Those like a couple weeks after WrestleMania or whatever. And I didn't expect to be there every week. So like if you'd have told me, I'm pretty sure people did tell me because I think the dirt sheets had the rumors right. Like yeah, they're playing in Trish and Becky for SummerSlam. I was like, okay, yeah, that sounds right. Because Trish won't be here, every week. So yeah, you
Yeah,
limit her appearance. Becky does other stuff. No, Trish is there every week, and they've still pushed the feud out this long, and it's been good. Like, so it's
exactly.
actually pretty impressive. Now that I think about it more.
That's why that she's. Yeah, I wouldn't have had her being there all the time like that. She really, I guess, she committed to it.
Trish being a full time weekly heel character was not something I expected this year, and it's been great. Like,
Exactly. I love it. It
yeah.
was some of the little throwbacks, like
Um,
the little face mask thing she had. That was a nice little throwback.
yeah, that was awesome. That was real too, though. She actually did fuck up her nose.
Damn. So they just got lucky to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because it started bleeding again, even like not like their last match they had on Raw, the actual one that ended the double count out, but when they had the like fake match that ended like instantly, like a week or two before, her nose started bleeding again in the brawl. Like,
Well,
yeah, but so just looking ahead for WWE now, since that's literally the only thing announced for Payback, and so really both pay-per-views that weekend, all out and Payback have one match announced right now. Like shit, come on, guys. I will get WWE gets a bit more of a pass on it because their shit's just on Peacock. You don't pay for it separately.
yeah.
Like, but still, it's crazy, and it is just Payback too. I will say, like,
Payback.
and in a way, you can say about AEW with All In now, you can be like, it's just all out because it kind of feels that way at times. But
True.
yeah, but so looking ahead at WWE though, because they do have some previews up there. We already mentioned Chad Gable's against Gunther on Raw, and we're both hoping Gunther wins that just to keep that record. New Day's taking on the new team of Drew McIntyre and Riddle. We'll see if that goes. Drew's either
There's a heel
gonna
turn somewhere. I don't know if it's gonna be New
that or
Day.
it's gonna be the new RK
New
Bro, and we're just
True.
gonna keep saying, "Oh, Drew's gonna turn on you now. Oh, he's gonna turn on you this week." And when did Randy ever turn?
Exactly. Like he RK'd him that one time, but it was like then the next
It
week is
was a
like,
joke. It
yeah,
was as a friend. He RK'd him as a friend.
exactly. That was like the funniest shit ever. Like,
Yeah.
but
And we'll talk about NXT Heatwave a little bit more in depth since that's Tuesday and that's a bit more of a major show there. But looking ahead to SmackDown, they've actually already got a couple things announced. Rey Mysterio's taking on Grayson Waller in a non-title match, which makes sense because Theory's the next challenger. I
yeah,
was kind of confused why it was non-title at first. When Ray will probably win. I don't think he should lose. He just won the title. And then Jimmy Uso returns, so that'll be our bloodline development for SmackDown on Friday. I don't have much to say about it because I have no fucking idea where they're going to go with it.
I don't
Just
either.
it's along for the ride. Like I talked about with Jeff last week, so I didn't really get to talk about it with you. So we'll spend a little bit of time on the bloodline because basically, like I was down after SummerSlam, not because of the match. Really, it was fine. It was probably one of Roman's like weaker of this formula. But I did not like Jimmy turning on Jay
Yeah,
specifically. I had like no other real issue but that. And so I was pretty down. I was not expecting to like Jimmy's explanation on SmackDown last week, and I did it. Like I still
yeah,
did it, but I will say it was one of the better
yeah.
ones he could have went with.
Even though
And
I was watching him, though I wasn't. I remember what you said. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. So like after that, and then that, but the segment after that explanation, I thought was so fucking good. Like
true.
Jay, and I'm gonna say this like ad nauseum. I'm gonna keep repeating it. Jay has never looked like more of a main event star than he did in that segment. So you could say everything you can about the SummerSlam match, not liking it. I wasn't a big fan of myself, but you can't say it hurt Jay.
He took out Solo, took out Roman, took out Jimmy. Like, dude,
so I
he was
have
the
to give
only
him
one
so much
standing.
credit. I was on my way out. I was like, they're losing me, and it took one fucking segment to just pull me right back in. Like, so I'm back in now. Like, I'm back to. I have no idea what Jimmy's gonna do on Friday, and I can't wait to see it. You know, like.
I hope they don't have him like just because Jay's super kid. Don't put him back with Roman. Like, just have it where he's his own man.
Yes. Jimmy does not need to join back with Roman at all. That would be the worst thing.
Yeah.
I'm so glad they made sure that was not a thing
Yeah.
when he did come back. You know, that was 100% the best part of that.
Exactly.
That explanation that he had with that segment. You know, the explanation about why he attacked Jimmy wasn't the best, but thank God it wasn't anything to do with joining back with
our jealousy.
You know? Yeah. It was like a weird protective thing, blah blah blah. Of all the ones we had discussed beforehand, it was the best, honestly.
Yeah.
I knew I wasn't gonna like it. I still didn't. But thank God he at least picked the best one.
Right. But Roman's facial expression through all that too. He's over there just like. That's what Roman's good at, his facial expressions. Like he can sell something without even having to say anything.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of selling too, both those fucking cousins, Roman and Jimmy, God, they sold Jay's super kick like death. Well, Solo too, actually. But Roman and Jimmy's super kick sells are just crazy. When they're, it's not like it's more when they're in angles than even matches. Like, okay, but so we'll go to NXT real quick for Heatwave. But real quick, you watched NXT, right? Or most of it at least.
Well, this last one, the only match I watched was the No One Contenders match.
Okay, so that was Wes's match, though, right? Well, so you didn't see Wes's segment with Carmelo after?
Oh wait, I seen that later. Yeah, I didn't watch it live, but I seen it later.
So good
with the table.
Just real quick, because I'm gonna go put my phone on the charger because it's about to straight up die. But give me your thoughts because I'll still be listening on the match, Wes's match with Dijak, the segment, and you move on to like the actual title match that he's gonna have this week too. Because I thought it was fucking awesome.
It was a great match. I was glad he won it. It's no secret. I'm a big fan of his. He's like one of my favorite people in NXT right now. So yeah, it was a great match, and I might be the only, but I kind of want him to win the title. Let Melo move on to the main roster. So that's what, for real. And then I'm think. But yeah, the segment with where he was like, I can't remember exactly what he was saying, but how how he even doubted himself and all this and stuff before, or something like that. It was a pretty good little segment, and then the little table jump thing was crazy.
Yeah, that was actually my least favorite part of the segment was the table jump. But I thought it was awesome. Like I've been saying pretty much ever since his partner left. I mean, I may have been saying it before. I don't remember. But Wes is like the best promo on NXT. Like I feel like he flies under the radar with his promo skills. He sounds so natural. Everything he says is like either good or funny or it's some kind of it elicits some emotion out of you, basically. That promo was awesome, and I saw both the Rascals and Impact. His former partner Wentz and Trey were like retweeting it and commenting on it and stuff. And it was so awesome seeing how they still support each other wherever they are. And I would not be opposed to Wes winning either. I don't think he will, but he definitely could.
Unless if he does, that could be just.
I would say he only could. It depends on Melo's plans. He could go to the main roster or whatever. But I don't know because like Braun's not even on the main roster yet, and I really expected him to after he lost the belt.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Shocked he didn't go up there. I guess they didn't think he was ready yet. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's doing good. I like his still stuff he's doing in NXT still, but yeah, it's weird. I mean, maybe, yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're still just waiting for the right time. But
Probably. Royal Rumble.
Brooke, we will go into this Heatwave card a little bit more. I won't have a lot to say about some of these matches, anything for some of them really. But Trick Williams is against Ilya Dragunov. That should be a test for Trick. Yeah.
It might be good.
See how much of a beating he can take. And this is an interesting one. Dragon Lee and Lyra Valkyria, however you say, I don't think I ever say it right, is against Dominic Mysterio and Rhea Ripley in a mixed tag match.
Damn.
Yeah. Then we have Nathan Frazier defending his Heritage Cup against Noam Dar. That should be fun. I like the Heritage Cup match. I usually like them, even though I'm not the biggest fan of the rules. The talent usually makes them so fun. This is one I'm actually excited for, too. I don't know if a lot of people are, but Von Wagner versus Baron Corbin. I don't know how much you've seen the last few weeks of this new Von Wagner character. Bro, I'm a huge fan. He's got this new thing. His new catchphrase is "You're gonna get tabled." He's just putting fuckers through the announce table. He's just powerbombing everyone through announce tables. It's so awesome. The crowd's so behind him. He's so over now. Just powerbombing everyone through announce tables. He did it to Braun already too. Like, it is amazing. He's gonna powerbomb Corbin through that damn table.
Of course he is, then.
Yeah.
So that's one I had to make sure I watched the whole show. I just keep forgetting most weeks. Last week the reason I didn't watch the Braves was on TV. So
yeah.
That's what I was like, hey, someone let me know when his match comes up. When his match comes up, because that's the only thing I care about.
Well, you don't get a lot of Braves games on TV though, so that's like a special occasion.
Exactly, because we ain't get
even now that they're so good, because they'll be blacked out still.
That's why I was surprised for some reason this one, because it was on Bally Sports the Tuesday or whatever. Also,
the blackout rules. I mean, we will talk about it soon, but the blackout rules are so weird to me. From how I understood before, and I think they've changed. It depended on if the game itself was sold out or something. They wouldn't black it out, but that doesn't happen with regular season baseball games. The stadiums are so big; they don't expect to sell out for regular season games.
The Braves do a lot, though. That's the good thing.
Yeah, but so if it's sold out, then the logic was, well, even though you're local in the area, you can't buy tickets, so we don't have to black it out if it's on TV. Something like that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think that's how it works anymore, though. That's what I'd always heard before. It's really weird because sometimes they will and sometimes they won't. And I don't know why stuff isn't sometimes.
They need a way to make it where, they can tell what you're on. Because Dish, like I said, I can't watch it on Bally Sports if I wanted to. So,
yeah. I mean, it made me so mad when we had DirecTV. I got the channel that showed Dallas and Houston sports, which was most everything, so that was fine. But for basketball, the Spurs channel, you had to have an extra package for. So I couldn't watch the Spurs because I didn't have the channel, and they were also blacked out. And I'm like 6 fucking hours from San Antonio. This is not local.
Right?
Yeah, but back to Heatwave. There's one more match. Interesting because it's Ivy Nile versus Ava from the Schism. She's not Ava Ray anymore. She's just Ava.
She dropped the last name.
Yeah, that might be her first singles match. I think it's her first singles match, unless she had one on Level Up or something. But on NXT, I think she's just had tags, mixed tags even at that.
It's kind of a test for her to see what she can do.
Yeah, she's kind of rough in the other ones, but we'll see. She's super young. So that's it for NXT, and I don't think I have anything else to really cover as far as WWE. I feel like they've been in a bit of they're going slow after SummerSlam. You can tell even with Payback coming up. Their next real big show is probably that Saudi one in October. So they'll probably start ramping up more for that. And then you got Survivor Series and stuff. So I think we're going to be a little slow in WWE stuff for a little bit. I think they'll just be building more stuff with the Bloodline, the Judgment Day, whatever is going to happen with those angles. So I don't have anything else really specific.
With WWE, got Bloodline Civil War. Now we can get Judgment Day Civil War.
yeah. I mean, really, the angles are actually really similar, but they're just different enough, and they're on different shows that they're working. Yeah. And I don't think it hurts that they're similar. Because in the simplest terms, it's two factions having issues. But you can only say they're similar in those simple terms, because when you start
Yeah,
looking at each character in it, it's way different. So I don't really accept that if people
because
are
no
going
one
to
at
use
Judgment Day is gaslighting.
yeah. But yeah, so that's interesting, and you can just tell both angles are meant to last a while, like possibly even all the
Yeah,
way to Mania. And I hope they have really good stuff already planned in the pipeline for it, because that means if it's already planned, even if we have a few slow weeks in developments, like what you're going to eventually get to is probably going to be worth it and rewarding and stuff.
true.
That's how I'd say most of the Bloodline angle has been. It'll go slow some weeks, but then we've been rewarded with so many great like pay-per-view moments, basically matches with it.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so real quick then, we'll wrap this one up a little shorter. I just want to go over a couple of cards for shows this weekend. I don't even know if I'm going to watch all these. I'll see if I have time. We already talked about Collision. I'll watch that for sure. UFC pay-per-view tonight too that I'll probably watch. So I don't know if I'm going to get to this All-Star Junior Festival USA that they're doing tonight. It's kind of New Japan, kind of not. I think it's like self-promoted by Hiromu Takahashi of New Japan. But New Japan's plugging in a lot and stuff, but has a bunch of junior talent from all over the world, and especially the USA, though, because they've done one of these before, and it was in Japan. So this is the one they're doing in the United States. And I was just looking at the card. Apparently, they don't have a match order announced yet. That's like random, apparently. I don't know. But it's kind of annoying because they don't have their nice preview they usually have. But they still got the match card here. So I'll just run down the match card really quick because some of this is going to be new to me because I don't even know the whole match card. Let's see. All right, so they have a kickoff match, which apparently starts at 6:30 Eastern. So that'd actually be before Collision. This is on New Japan World pay-per-view, by the way. So you have to buy it separately. You can't just watch it with your New Japan subscription.
Damn.
I think it's like probably like a little less than $30, I want to say. So yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna get to it. But so your kickoff match is a guy named Goldie, who I'm not aware of, and Vinny Pacifico, who I believe is a West Coast indie guy. I've heard things about him. I don't think I've ever watched him, but he does like like an energy drink gimmick of sorts, apparently. Like he has like legit energy drink sponsors. I don't remember which ones, and he kind of made that part of his gimmick.
Damn.
And he's also making money because of sponsorship with it. That's like really all I know of him. Because I did actually, he had an interview earlier this week that I listened to talking about this New Japan opportunity, and they were like, "Are they gonna let you just do your whole energy drink thing?" He's like, "I mean, I want to try. If they say no, I won't." But like,
See, I like gimmicks like that because it's something that me and my friends would like come up with when we play 2K. Because like we come up with the most ridiculous like bullshit sometimes.
Well, and they're practical too when you think about it because it makes you money. It's not just a gimmick. If it's entertaining and it makes you more money, those are the best gimmicks.
Exactly. It's like shit.
Yeah. So then on to the main card, though. They have a tournament. I'm not sure what the prize is. Maybe a shot at Hiromu, possibly, for his IWGP Junior title. But so the 4 participants in this tournament is Francesco Akira of the United Empire in New Japan, Mike Bailey of Impact, Kevin Knight of New Japan, and Clark Connors of the Bullet Club in New Japan. And the first round matches are Francesco Akira versus Mike Bailey and Kevin Knight versus Clark Connors. And then the winner of those two will wrestle each other later. So Akira versus, or Akira, I think is how you say it, versus Mike Bailey. That's going to be insane. I'm a big fan of Mike Bailey. Obviously, I think everyone knows that. Everyone who's seen him is a fan. But Francesco Akira is really good. He's really young, too. He's like 22 or 23. It's like maybe he's Italian. And he's kind of just, as of the last year, got a good break in New Japan. And so that's going to be crazy. Kevin Knight and Clark Connors, that's one I've seen them mix it up quite a bit because they were both in the New Japan American Dojo under Shibata. But now they've completely went their separate ways, with Clark being the heel in the Bullet Club. So that'll be fun, too. If I had to predict, I think Bailey and Connors will probably be the finals. And who knows who wins from there. Mike Bailey and Kevin Knight actually had a great match on Impact a few weeks ago, though. If that happens to be the finals and they run that back, I wouldn't complain.
For some reason, mine's Impact stopped recording.
Oh, that's not good. Why. I don't even get access, so I have to watch the stupid YouTube feed. I have not watched Impact from this week actually too. It's like first week in forever. I need to get to that at some point. I just keep forgetting. Oh man, this next match.
Don't they got a show coming up? I think too this weekend or next.
Yeah. I was gonna get to that real quick after the after I run down this card, but it's with New Japan too. So it's it's at the same arena. Both that show and this show, by the way, is at that 2300 arena, the old ECW arena, which is always good for indie shows. Yeah. So we got a 6-man tag on the card, which is the DKC of the New Japan American Dojo, Rich Swann of Impact, and Ryusuke Taguchi of New Japan against Starboard Charlie, who is a GCW regular, Jack Cartwheel, who he's been everywhere lately, Japan, Mexico. He was in one of the big Triple Mania main events, which is a crazy spot for him, and Real One, which is Enzo Amore. There's been some major backlash with Enzo or Real One getting booked on this card, like people requesting refunds and everything. Like, yeah, apparently they are not happy.
I'm not gonna let one person make me not want to go to a show, even if I did.
Yeah, it's crazy because, like, I mean, I'm not like a big fan or anything, but I'm pretty sure, like, I mean, yeah, it's definitely annoying at times, but that stuff he was fired for with WWE, those like sexual assault allegations. I mean, wasn't that proven? Like, wasn't that? Then whoever accused him like retracted or whatever? Because I remember WWE ended up actually getting a lot of heat after because they ended up being like essentially proven false, like more than like a pretty clear cut way from what I remember, but I don't know the details, so I may be wrong on that. But yeah, so I don't really understand the backlash. I get not being a fan, being annoyed by him, not thinking he's a good wrestler. But if all that was ended up not being, like, if he didn't actually do anything, I don't get requesting refunds and stuff.
Right?
Same fucking can't wrestle or shit during the match, you know?
Yeah, dude.
I don't know.
Yeah, just go if you want, just troll the match a little bit or something.
Yeah. So then we had a tag team match of Mao from I believe Dragon Gate and or no, DDT, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. Someone confirm because I don't watch enough of the Japan smaller companies. But he's teaming with El Desperado of New Japan. Well, technically he's a freelancer, but mostly appears in New Japan. And they're against the East West Express, which is Jordan Oliver and Nick Wayne. I love that tag team.
I didn't know who it was, but I know who both of them
are. The regulars on GCW and a bunch of other indies. They were GCW tag champions last I checked. I don't know if they ended up losing them with Nick Wayne signed to AEW or anything. But they're teaming here still, so that'll be fun.
A few of the GCW shows why Jordan Oliver was someone that I kind of I enjoyed
he's
him.
Like Mr. GCW to me now, honestly. And God, there's so many random tag matches I did not realize on this card. So we also have Matt Sydal and Yo of New Japan against Bushi of New Japan and Shun Skywalker from Dragon Gate, who I've seen quite a bit in MLW. He had some MLW appearances earlier this year. He actually won their like middleweight title for a bit, and he's really good. So that'll be fun. Okay. This is all right. We'll move on. I'll save those for last. I don't know what's actually the main event or anything. They have some weird fucking matches in this card, man. So there's a 5-way match, so just like a scramble. I don't know everyone in this, so I can't help there. A guy named Fugaz, which I think might be a luchador. Leo Rush, who apparently is not hurt, which is good because he was injured, but they didn't think it was serious. Dragon Kid, which is like a regular veteran at this point. He's not a kid anymore. He's been around forever with Dragon Gate. Soberano Jr., another luchador. I believe both him and Fugaz are from CMLL. And then Casey Navarro, who's like an American indie guy who I've seen a couple of times. He's pretty good. So that'll just be like, crazy balls to wall 5-way match. Okay. So this next match, I'm kind of confused about. It's called a Lucky Dip tag match. There are 8 people, and it says tag team partners to be decided by random drawing in the ring. So I don't know if they'll decide the 8 men like 4 and 4, or if it'd be like 2 versus 2 versus 2 versus 2. But apparently you don't know your partners until the match starts. So, but we know the 8 people
kind of like that.
They are Chose Fujita, who is a not a young lion anymore, but he was a young lion, and he has now joined TMDK in New Japan. Yoshinobu Kanemaru, New Japan veteran. Alex Shelley, obviously Impact World Champion. Robbie Eagles of New Japan. Ace Austin and Chris Bay of Impact are both in it. TJP of the United Empire New Japan. And Cheeseburger from Ring of Honor. So that is our lucky dip tag match participants. Again, I don't know if that's going to be like an 8-man tag or if it's a 4-way regular tag, but very interesting combinations they could do there either way. And then what I believe is the main event. This is
Well, since you like an actual, at least one actual tag team. I don't know if there's any other actual tag teams in there.
Yeah, like Ace Austin and Chris Bay. I don't. Oh, Robbie Eagles and TJP. No. Robbie Eagles and Kosei Fujita are both in the United Empire, but that's about it. But they've never teamed much, as far as I'm aware. Yeah, they're both newer members. So then, what I think is the main event. It is a Pat's, which is a sponsor, King of Steaks Philly Cheesecake Cup 3-way tag team ladder match. So,
are they hanging a cheesecake above the ring?
I don't know. It's sponsored by Pat's King of Steaks Philly Cheesesteak. Pat's King of Steaks. That's the name of the sponsor. And it is a Philly Cheesesteak Cup. I think they might just have a trophy made. I don't know. But it's a ladder match. So, it is Hiromu Takahashi and Rocky Romero teaming against Master Wato and Blake Christian against Doki and a guy named Low Rider from, I believe, CMLL as well. He's a luchador for sure. I just don't know if he's from CMLL. I've never seen a match with him. So that's a very interesting card tonight.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm actually going to get to it. I may not end up watching it. I didn't watch the first one. But that's very interesting. And then, that's something, all right. But real quick, before we get off, we can go over the Impact in New Japan Super Show basically tomorrow. Let me pull the details real quick though. So it is Impact New Japan Multiverse United 2. This is the second one they've done. For Whom the Bell Tolls. Very dramatic nickname. And it actually starts at 5 Eastern tomorrow. It is you got to buy it on FITO. It's a separate purchase. But it's earlier in the day, so that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know that till just now, if you weren't aware.
Yeah, I was going to ask what it was going to be on and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, I hate that the New Japan ones I can't just watch with the Impact Plus thing. I have to buy them separately.
Yeah.
But I'll see if I have any fight credits. Who knows? But so the main event of that show is Alex Shelley defending the Impact World title against Hiroshi Tanahashi. It's crazy. And then we have a New Japan Strong Women's Championship match. It's probably my most hyped match on the card. Because as far as I'm aware, this is Julia, the New Japan Strong Women's Champion. Her first American appearance. If not, it's the first one I've seen. So it's important to me. But she is defending against Momo Kogo, who's also of Stardom. And then Impact's Deonna Purrazzo and Giselle Shaw in a 4-way match. So I almost kind of wish it was just Julia versus Deonna because I think that'd be a better match. But I don't mind getting those other two in. I like both of them.
Yeah.
This is another. All the matches I'm probably going to think are bad shit, honestly. Because, I don't know, Impact and New Japan, when they come together, I feel like they just, it's Rocky. It's Scott D'Amore and Rocky Romero. They just put together the craziest matches. So this is Bullet Club versus the World. So it's a Bullet Club team of David Finlay, Ace Austin, Chris Bay, Alex Coughlin, Kenta, and Clark Connors against Josh Alexander, PCO, Tamatonga, Tongaloa, so Gorillas of Destiny, ELP, and the DKZ.
Jesus.
Yeah, crazy 10-man tag there.
That might be one match I could care about watching too there.
Yeah, so here, and then right after that, we have what could definitely be a match of the night contender. It is Leo Rush teaming with Trey Miguel against the team of Hiromu Takahashi, and Mike Bailey.
Jesus.
Yeah. So they could definitely that could definitely be match of the night. I'll almost be a little surprised if it wasn't. And this one is branded as TMDK versus Impact. So it's a TMDK team of Zack Sabre Jr. wrestling on an Impact card. That's awesome. Teaming with Shane Haste. That was Slapjack in WWE, if you're not aware of Retribution fame.
I was trying to remember what, and he was what was his name?
He was the hockey mask guy.
I meant with his text before that when he.
He was in the Mighty. They called him a couple different things. They're like TM61 and the Mighty in WWE.
So I'm saying, was he Shane Thorne or?
Yeah, Shane Thorne. Partners
Okay.
Mikey Nichols. I don't remember what his
Nick
WWE
Miller.
name was. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think honestly, because this has happened multiple times now. Mikey Nichols does not come to America for whatever reason. So either he doesn't want to travel, or he doesn't have a visa situated, or something. Because it's always just Shane Haste when they come to America, and then him and Mikey still team in Japan regularly. They're still a great tag team too. So it's kind of weird that.
I should have realized he was saying Shane Thorne since he's Shane. I should have realized.
Yeah. But they are against him and Zach are against the Impact team of Moose and Eddie Edwards. We're not friends, but they're both heels, and they have been. They're Impact loyalists, so I can. Them representing Impact is pretty cool. Good way to get them on the card. That's an interesting fight for sure. Damn, they got a lot of matches going here. So what? I'm very surprised this match doesn't have some kind of stipulation. I thought it'd be like some kind of hardcore variation, but it's Doki against Sami Callihan. Like they should be in a death match or something. It'd be awesome.
I was thinking that it was some kind of match with no rules.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll devolve into that. Okay, then we have a crazy. They're calling it a junior heavyweight / X Division scramble because it's a mix of New Japan guys and Impact guys, and even others too. Because I see Mao is also in this, and he's not New Japan. So Mao, Rich Swann, El Desperado, Yo, Bushi, Frankie Kazarian, Kevin Knight, and Chris Sabin make up that scramble. What is that? 8 people? Yeah, it's 8 people. That's gonna be crazy.
Yeah. A lot of spots.
Yeah. And then we have another tag team match. This is the last match on the main card before we get to their kickoff matches. It is United. This is a straight New Japan match. It's the United Empire team of TJP and Francesco Akira, whatever. And they're former New Japan Junior champions, tag team champions. They're teaming against the TMDK team of Robbie Eagles and Kosei Fuji. So that'll be good. They'll probably do that as an opener or something. So that's our main card. And then there's 2 more kickoff or countdown matches is what Impact calls them. And one's the Digital Media Championship, which that's always countdown. That's kind of like that title's gimmick as being like digital media, I guess. Kenny King, who I kind of forgot was the champion, I'm not going to lie, is defending against Yoshinobu Kanemaru of New Japan. So that'll be fun. I like Yoshinobu quite a bit, especially when he gets these spots in America because he doesn't do a lot in Japan now. He's pretty old. But he's not too old or anything. They definitely have old. But he's on the, that veteran kind of run.
Yeah.
Then our first countdown match. Well, actually, I don't know. The Impact doesn't do the order, so who knows? This may be versus second. It's a looks like a fun little 6-man tag. It's Joe Hendry teaming with his new tag team partner of Yuya Uemura and Heath. So what a team that is against Rocky Romero and Team 6 or 9, who is Master Wato and Ryusuke Taguchi. Team 6 or 9. That is their tag team. But yeah, so that looks like a fun card. And let me double check real quick what the countdown when it starts. It starts a half hour early, so at 4:30 Eastern tomorrow.
Those 2 countdown matches won't be long then.
Nah, that's usually how Impact does it. And but usually it's just matches. They might have maybe a main event video package sorted, but it's usually just pretty much straight matches in their countdowns, which is fun. And the New Japan one, that countdown, they usually start with a match. good chance there's technical difficulties, and then they go dark again for like 10 minutes before the actual pay-per-view starts. They don't do the countdown for the full time, I've noticed.
Yeah. But definitely the one tomorrow I might have to check out.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm actually pretty excited for the show tomorrow. I think I'll have time to watch it live. We'll see. If not, I'll get to it sometime in the week. I probably should actually try to watch the Impact episode from Thursday before it, but we'll see. I mean, I do that one. It might be a lost cause at this point. Start fresh next week.
Definitely, I'm definitely watching it live because I'm pretty sure the race won't be over by then.
Oh yeah, but that is our so before we head out, we'll just do another quick brief look at wrestling because I feel like it's so hard to keep up with how much there is now that like I kind of have to constantly remind myself, oh, this is at this time, this is at this time, So tonight obviously is Collision. That's the easy one because it's the same time every week. Thankfully, weekly shows I'm good with, but and then so there's that All-Star Junior Festival we talked about. There's actually a UFC pay-per-view today too. Like I still kind of relate those with wrestling, even though the crossover is like less and less by the day with MMA and wrestling. But that just still feels related to me, and I'll watch the UFC pay-per-view tonight. Hopefully it doesn't last too late though. They start at 10 your time as the main card. Like yeah, and then they'll last about 3 hours. But they'll have prelims on starting at probably like 6 or 7 or something. And tomorrow you got Impact in New Japan Multiverse. And then, the million weekly shows that are on during the week now, it's actually absurd to think about it. How many
the only day you don't have a weekly show is Sunday.
Yeah. And then after that, I don't know if there's what's actually next Saturday. I'm sure there's something though. But then you have fucking All In, which is literally going to be the biggest wrestling show like of our lifetime potentially. Like it's just attendance wise. I'm not talking about overall perception or quality or anything like that. Obviously, it hasn't happened yet. And I'm saying even if it sucks, we're going to be watching the biggest crowd we've ever seen in wrestling.
Yeah.
And may ever see. Like I actually don't think it's going to be the biggest ever. As crazy as it took to get one this big, because I do think with how the hot WWE is, I think they can run something and beat it. Just the matter of will they
go. Yeah, especially if they go over there to London.
I mean, they could honestly probably run Wembley next year and beat it if they really wanted to. Now, but the risk is if they don't do, God, I don't even want to imagine the internet during that whole discourse of will they or won't they beat AEW. But yeah, but I feel like we're almost taking that for granted though, and part of it is kind of AEW's fault with all these distractions like off screen that they're having.
Yeah.
But like this is going to be the biggest crowd most of us have ever seen for a wrestling show. Like it is an absolutely insane moment in wrestling history that we are about to witness in a week. It's crazy, right?
Yeah. I think don't Impact got a show that night too. That's what I'm glad.
Yes, actually they do. We didn't even look at that because they had. We were talking about the other Impact show. Yeah, it's Emergence. That's a pretty good card. I'm not going to pull up the whole thing, but I know they have the rematch of Trinity versus Deanna. That's like Trinity's first defense, or first big defense at least. She may have defended on TV to take. There's like a 6-man that I know, like Shelly is involved in. So he's not defending though. But still was a good match. It looked like a good match. Sonata, the IWGP World Champion's coming over and defending against fucking Jake something randomly.
Damn.
So great. He's not on the card tomorrow, but he's on their card next week. But yeah, to your point though, I mean Wembley might go really long, but most of the Impact show will be after for sure.
Yeah. That's something like thank God for time zones because it shouldn't run into each other too much, if at all. We'll see how long it lasts.
Yeah, well, I don't have anything else. I don't think we missed anything. If we did, maybe we'll cover it next week, hopefully.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Yeah, next week. Well, real quick before we get out of here and even watching, give us ideas too, because we probably shouldn't plan too far ahead because God knows what's going to happen this week in wrestling. No one knows.
Yeah.
But because we did such a in-depth preview, it kind of showed me like unless a lot happens on the TV this week, we've already previewed All In. We could have some theme show next week. We'll start shopping ideas. Maybe like we could even do like a trivia thing or something. But
something
might be a good week. And then because the next week we're gonna have to start reviewing all these crazy shows that are happening.
right.
But yeah, we'll workshop some stuff there. But because that could be fun. But if that's it, then we'll wrap this up and talk to everyone again same time next week, unless anything comes up.
Yep.
All right, sounds good. Thank you for joining me, please.
No problem. Always happy.